the first thing I'm noticing is that the waves are back. Like, I'm hearing the waves again. And it's almost as though the frequency of the waves in Atlantis also emitted a very strong sound frequency that very much was transformational to things around it. The water is very much the focal point of the energy of Atlantis. The way some cultures and communities, you could say, worship and praise the sun. It's like there's a worship of the water. And it's like the sound frequency of the waves opens up a portal so you can go there. Clomidil's chiming in and going, you have to tell Teresa we're going to actually talk about Atlantis because this might get boring. It's okay. It's good for Crystal. Crystal's asking us to move along into the landscape and what it looks like because she's ready to really see it and be there. But we have some more things to say. The energy of Atlantis is so powerful and transformational within the Akashic record of the human because it is a full realm that still exists today. There are going to be many versions of New Earth. And your memory of Atlantis will build the version of this Atlantean frequency within New Earth that your soul is being called to bring forward. And there will be others that will bring forth Lemuria. There will be others that will exemplify the inner Earth. There will be New Earth in, how do we word this? There will be an experience of New Earth with an overlay of many new technological cities. And then there will be experiences of Earth with an overlay of nothing but Gaia and the elemental realm from a higher frequency. There are many, many different versions. You can experience New Earth with everyone, or you can experience New Earth by yourself. And Atlantis plays a large role in that energy because what you are going to build is the New Earth Atlantis. Not everybody will choose to build that community, but you will. And so you will bring forward the technologies and bring forward the consciousness that is needed to sustain a high vibrational community integrated with very large technological advances that are brought forward from the galactics. So let's talk about Atlantis. Crystal doesn't want to go to the Atlantis node on Earth. Crystal wants to go to the realm of Atlantis where she knows your history lies.
Okay.
And so we're going to ask that you take a moment and breathe deeply to center into your heart, because we are going to ask you to raise your consciousness into the quantum field, and we will guide you. Breathe. Just settling into your heart. And now we will ask that you visualize a pillar of light from your crown chakra going upward until it reaches a ceiling, if you will, made of an energetic lattice that we will call the Crystalline Grid of New Earth. And we would like you to watch as this light extends upward from your crown chakra, connecting energetically to the lattice, seeing the light fill the lattice of this crystalline grid. And now we're going to ask you to call all of that light back in, watching as the light leaves the grid, coming back into the pillar that's extended from the crown chakra, bringing all of that light back into your body. Accept the information that you just pulled in without any expectation. Allow your desire to be light. Allow your trust to be strong. Trust in that the message, the information needed at this point in time will be received. My throat chakra is getting activated like crazy.
You want something to drink?
No. It's better. Water never helps. Never. The only thing that'll help is if she does the energy releasing that we call her to. She's asking from the meadow, how do you get to this realm of Atlantis? And the waves responded immediately, telling her to follow the waves, meaning to loosen her consciousness and allow herself to open up to the sound frequencies that are coming in from that realm, sounding to her like waves. That is an information download that at this time she is only able to interpret as a wave sound. So we're going to ask her to sit with this information for just a moment, interpreting it through the body. Well, not really. We are interpreting it for her at this time as she is basking in the sun in the meadow. She said sometimes it feels good when you come in and do the thinking. She's following the frequency of the wave. He doesn't like us as much as he likes her. It is well. It allows him to receive more energy when he is further away from our presence. We're We're going to acknowledge at this time the download coming in will be very powerful for both of you tonight. Salt bath, Crystalline. We understand she doesn't listen. It's strange to her as she watches this sort of movie screen that we have set up for her in her meadow to see the multi-dimensional experience that you are capable of having in these higher realms. The first thing she notices is that when you come to the realm of Atlantis, that's not the name of it. What is it? There are two like ways you can identify it, they say. In light language, they would call it New Earth Atlantis. In like straightforward telepathy, they're making me call it Atlantis Rising. The groups of light workers on the planet are going to individually work within specific communities that are here to bring forward the Akashic memory of not only the Earth, but the human. So that they may come and interact and remember this piece of them. And many will influx through your property to have the experience of Atlantis and New Earth. Arkireish. Arkireish. It's like a whole download in itself just to say that. Arkireish. It like, what is it? They're saying it's like clairkinetics. It's like you're energetically pulling it into your body. It's very interesting to experience the multidimensionality of knowing that we can choose to experience Atlantis Rising in like these bubbles. So it's like you literally have your own island and you're protected, and you can go and experience your own energy, human blueprint, and history of Atlantis co-creating and transmuting itself. You literally play in this island that's bubbled off just for you to alchemize your essence with the energies of Atlantis and New Earth. Or you can go and have the community experience, and you can do both at the same time. It's very weird for Crystal to see how that can be. She's resisting us saying this out loud because she doesn't like it from her perspective, but she doesn't see how multifaceted it is, or how beautiful it is when we tell her that Teresa's gonna spend a lot of time on an island by herself, yet also be very engaged in the community. Crystal doesn't like that. She's like, why don't you want me in the bubble?
You can come in my bubble.
She's like, I know. She really does. She's like, that bubble's mine. It's my bubble. Why can't I come in the bubble? Yeah. Now that she is no longer hindered by the inner child or hurt or feeling traumatized by the experience that the inner child has, she can laugh at the qualities that she picked up throughout her life. Like when she calls herself a brat. The only thing she's truly bratty about is your time.
My bubble.
Crystal is asking from the meadow how humanity, will be able to access Atlantis Rising when they are ready to choose the potential of that experience. And we're being very clear with her. They will not be able to access Atlantis Rising until they are accessing the new Earth energies. You must be existing in the physicality of the fifth dimension to truly access this realm.
So is it a physical dimension?
Yes, very.
But
you two will live there.
Okay.
This will be your experience of the fifth dimension. And Crystal would like to talk about the landscape and the energy of the plants and the animals. It's very interesting. She always sees herself in the meadow because of the visualizations that we brought to her, but we feel that she associates her higher vibrational essence with the meadow because that's all she's practiced thus far. And so we are going to begin to bring her, instead of to the meadow, to the fifth dimensional Atlantis Rising. And so she can begin to ground herself in the energy that she will be creating in. It's no longer a stretch for her to come here. Crystal's like, talk about the plants. Talk about the plants. They're so cool. You can touch them and they talk to you. You can set your awareness on them and they talk to you. They can tell you their story, they can tell you their history, they can tell you their dreams. Their intention's powerful. We can learn a lot from the plants. They are all green. It's all very green. But the aura of the plant changes color almost like an LED light. It shifts pinks and turquoise and white and orange, yellow, green. And then at times, like the tip of the plant will like have little fireworks of energy. Not fireworks, like a fountain. Like it just kind of, like a coronal mass ejection off the sun. It's just, she really likes that. She keeps sticking her hand in it.
What makes the plants change color?
Their intention.
Do they respond to the humans?
Absolutely, they're communicating.
So that's how, is that
They're
how they
giving you
communicate?
blocks of thought.
Cool.
They're giving you telepathic blocks of thought, but sometimes they'll give you something that's more focused, and you'll interpret that as maybe words or a sentence telepathically. But generally, they're offering a block of thought, so you'll come into contact with it and feel wisdom overcome in your emotional body, and you may receive some thoughts, some experience or memory, whatever the plant's trying to offer you. They're very in tune with the Akashic library of this particular corner of the universe. And so they are able to extend almost memory to you. But it's not going to be your personal memory. It'll be memory of your planet, memory of the beings that have been here before you, memory of the cultures that have been here before you, so that you can pick and choose what aligns with your essence and further your studies. If they bring forward some memory of a plant medicine used in Mayan culture and that lights you up, then you will know that Mayan culture is something for you to begin to explore. And you can choose to leave your Atlantean realm for a moment and go to the community that is experiencing the new earth realm of Maya culture in this new space. And you can see what pieces ignite your heart, pieces ignite your soul, pieces ignite your DNA. And then you bring that back and you play with that in Atlantis Rising, where you feel most at home. And you see how that energy can intertwine and mix with the thought forms and beliefs and energies that you're already playing in. And then you bring that to the galactics, because that's the data that you've been exchanging for many lifetimes. And they give you new ways of perceiving it, new ways of seeing it. And then you come back down and play with it a little more. And then you go back over to the Mayans and say, look what I did. And they choose whether or not they want to take upon themselves and their new earth rising culture that they've created with their Mayan history. And they say, you know, well, what can we do with this? What could we use this for in a co-creation? And they play with that energy. If it excites them, then they take it to their galactic councils and they decipher the data. Everything that you choose in the New Earth grid is going to be taken up by your galactic council that you work with. Every focal point, every consciousness focal point within a realm will have a council that will be in direct communication with the galactics.
So let's say there's a consciousness of souls that are inspired by plant medicine. There's that realm. How many different realms of exploration are there?
Well, the realm is the chord. Plant medicine would be a frequency within the chord.
Okay.
So you will experience plant medicine in the realm of Atlantis Rising. You will experience plant medicine in the realm of Gaia medicine.
Wow. That's cool.
It's where all the shaman souls go to explore their history in the New Earth grid. There's a Mayan, which we've discussed. There's an Egyptian. There's ancient Asian cultures that are bringing forward their traditions from Earth and blending it into this New Earth grid and recreating in the highest forms the essence of what their soul was trying to bring forward in the first place. You, for many years, saw honeycomb bubbles. That was the new earth. These are bubbles of consciousness that you get to go and explore that are very much physical. And there are hundreds of thousands of them within the experience of the new earth realm. And we know it's hard for the consciousness to wrap itself around the ideas of that right now. But trust that you will ground. You can have any experience that you want and you will miss nothing. Time doesn't exist. You could spend 6 years alone in your island, in your bubble, and no time would have passed at all. And this is the part that Crystal doesn't understand from her human perspective.
So we'll have basically like different cultures on a human level, blending their history consciousness and then going into an expansion with the consciousness of the galactics and sort of blending it
Ciphering
together
through data to see what needs to be grounded into this new earth grid. Cool. As you build these societies. There is an overall realm that will be the focal point once the individual expansion and navigation is complete. So you get to go through the creation of all of these experiences, really to choose what you want to bring into the new earth grid. And when you choose what you want to bring to the new earth grid, which we feel happens in the blip of an eye, but for some it'll have an experience of 4 years here, 6 years here in your earthly time, even though time won't exist. So, but we want to explain the experience.
So we won't really have time. It's more of one experience, then another, then another.
And then you come to the focal point of the creation of New Earth, and you're building your society from here. Now, Crystal's saying we have to ground this information because she's getting frustrated with us. She wants to know how this connects back into the physical realm. And we want her to know that these bubbles of consciousness, you guys have been tapping into this energy and deciding what you want to bring into the new earth grid since 2015. The collective is just now beginning this process. So, as the energy shifts and the event unfolds on your planet, you will see yourself moving through this foundational space of Atlantis Rising very quickly, where we were discussing the islands of consciousness. It can be said that this process is very much being ignited in the astral realms for many of the light workers and starseeds now. And as humanity spends more time in the new earth energies, which you'll see unfolding more frequently on your planet in the year of 2021, the building of new earth will be far underway. The manifestation must come forward in a node in the timeline. There are manifestation pockets within the timelines that we would like to call energetic nodes. These nodes are predestined for major events to unfold on Earth. Not predestined in a way that it's set in stone that this one thing will happen, but predestined as in the energy on the planet will be so in alignment with massive change that any of these things could happen at this time. You are coming upon a season of nodes. And because there is a season of nodes ahead of you, boom, 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 we want to say that the probability of the event coming forward into manifestation within any of these nodes at any time is extremely high.
What moves us closer to those nodes to make the probability even higher?
You move towards them naturally. It's a unfolding of the timeline that's chosen by humanity. So the timeline itself has the nodes. It has nothing to do with who is in the timeline. Because the timeline would reveal the nodes, these opportunities for manifestation, regardless of who's there or not. So, we would say nothing can necessarily move you closer to the timeline or the node because you exist within it in your reality.
So we're already there, basically.
Yes.
Okay. And that's why it's literally right around the corner.
Any moment.
Any moment. Okay.
Because it is any moment in this timeline. So what makes it manifest? Collective frequency. Under which you have no control. You only have control over yourself. And this is why internal growth is so pivotal. Because only when you take care of yourself and raise your vibration can you impact how quickly this happens. Only when you focus on yourself can you impact how quickly this happens.
So what is the difference between, we have New Atlantis Rising, is it the same Atlantis that we've been on before that's rising up again? It's just same frequency?
It's the memory.
The memory, okay.
Okay. We're gonna go back a moment. These are realms.
Okay.
Atlantis Rising means the becoming of Atlantis.
Okay.
New Earth Atlantis is a frequency expression through light language to offer to you the template of the Akashic memory awakening within you, and you honoring that piece of who you are while blending and ascending into your highest self. They are one and the same. They are just called different things. One is an energetic, higher frequency expression that you would hear the galactics say, maybe. New Earth Atlantis. One is something that is more fifth dimensionally grounded, where you would hear it being called this by more human. Atlantis Rising. The Atlantis within you is rising as you ascend into your new earth human.
So we're sort of awakening to our own history.
Yes.
And then expanding into
and choosing
new
who you're
frequency.
becoming.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. And this is why we need everyone to discover their history. Not everybody will connect with Atlantis. People want to message Crystal and say, but what about Lemuria all the time? Yeah, Lemuria, great.
Go look
Crystal
it up.
doesn't connect to that energy. But if you do, great, go explore.
Do we have any ties to Lemuria or just Atlantis?
No, there's no ties to Lemuria. You weren't engaged in planet Earth at that time. It wasn't until you had seen the attempts for ascension to happen and they were struggling. And so a council of light workers was called together to see who was going to go in and who was going to stay out, and how we were going to help navigate the very human souls through this. Many who had the experience of Lemuria have had many, many lifetimes here on Earth. Many lifetimes in ancient Egypt and many lifetimes in ancient Asia. Many lifetimes even in inner Earth. Many lifetimes here as the non-evolved human. Many, many experiences. Many Lemurians have spent almost their entire lifetime here on Earth.
They must be exhausted.
To say the least.
I'm sure. So most that are from Atlantis have had relatively few human experiences?
We would not say that.
Okay. Different.
We would not say that. A lot of people who experienced Atlantis also had many lifetimes here on planet Earth, but did not choose Earth until the Atlantis realm was opened. The Atlantis realm has not been opened the entire time your planet has been around. So, when Atlantis became the Lightworking Collective was making choices to incarnate during this time frame to begin to disseminate the dark forces.
So Atlantis was created to disseminate the dark forces?
No. Atlantis was created and then the dark moved in.
Ah, okay.
They had the eyes on the technology.
Gotcha.
And the lightworkers saw this happening after a few centuries and chose to really come in and begin to work at disseminating the dark forces. And so there were nodes in the Earth timeline that were chosen for a specific reason by you and Crystal to come in and have the experience at certain times. You are not Earth beings. You have no true connection to this planet. You've never truly felt connected to this planet.
So did we have several lifetimes in Atlantis? How long was that planet? How long did that planet exist? Is it like as long as Earth?
It's not a planet.
A place.
The existence of Atlantis in your earthly history was very much a place here on the planet. We would only say now it's not so much a place but a realm.
Okay, so it doesn't exist like in the iceberg somewhere. Like people are.
The existence of Atlantis that you are talking about from all of the things that you have heard and read is real and exists in this planet. And it is a part of your history that existed back many, many years ago. And you did live there and have that experience when you first incarnated on Earth. That existence and what is being created in the Atlantis Rising is not the same.
Okay.
It is not connected in any way other than you remember your history and you're bringing it over.
Okay, so what part of our history is important to remember? Is that something that's just going to unfold for us later?
All of the history is important, but it's best to take it in little bits.
Okay.